Proverbs chapter 30 verse 4. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fists? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? 5 questions in all. The author was inspired. The essence of the number 5 is God and man combined in redemption. Let's look at these 5 questions. 1. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Now Paul answered this when he wrote to the Ephesians. Said this: to each one of us grace has been given as Christ or Messiah apportioned it. This is why it says, when he ascended on high, he took many captives and gave gifts to his people. What does he ascended mean, except that he also descended to the lower earthly regions? He who descended is the very one who ascended higher than all the heavens in order to fill the whole universe. That's Ephesians 4 verses 7 to 10. So God in Jesus was the one who ascended and descended. Second question, we take the 2 questions together, 2 and 3. It's this: who hath gathered the wind in his fists, and who hath bound the waters in a garment? This is from Matthew chapter 8 verses 23 to 27. Listen to this. Then Jesus got into the boat, and his disciples followed him. Suddenly a furious storm came up on the lake, so that the waves swept over the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. I just love that. The disciples went and woke him, saying, Lord, save us, we're going to drown. Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. The men were amazed and asked, what kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obeyed him. So God in Jesus gathered the wind and bound the waters. That's the answer to those 2 questions. And then the 4th question is, who hath established the ends of the earth? And we read this in the New Testament. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and things on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers or rulers or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. That's Colossians 1:16. God in Jesus established the ends of the earth. And the final question, what is his name? And what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? Well, we can tell. God said to Moses, say to the Israelites, Yahweh Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh has sent me to you. This is my name forever, the name you shall call me from generation to generation. Exodus 3:15. So that's God's name. And a second quote from the New Testament, as soon as Jesus was baptized, he went up out of the water. Suddenly the heavens were opened, and a voice from heaven said, this is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. That's Matthew 3:16 to 17. Yahweh is his name, and Yeshua, or Jesus, is his son's name. You know, we may think that God would make this the final word of the book of Proverbs. But you know, there's a surprise in the final chapter. We'll look at that tomorrow.